Hello students, my name is Jessica Sequeira. I will be your English teacher today. Today we're going to talk about adverbs of frequency. This topic is for 7th grade, so please pay attention. Adverbs of frequency. Next. Okay, adverb of frequency always tell us how often something takes place either in the defined or indefined terms. We have 0% and 100%. Always, usually, generally or normally, often, frequently, sometimes, occasionally, seldom, rarely, never. Next. Okay. We use adverb of frequency to show how often we do something. For example, I always have a coffee in the morning. I usually eat dinner at home. I sometimes eat at restaurants. Point 2. Sometimes, usually and often can go before the subject or the end of the verb's phrase. For example, usually I read before bed. I read before bed usually. Often I go there or I go there often. Sometimes I play tennis at night. I play tennis at night sometimes. So now we are going to pay attention to the video. So please.
Conversation 1.
What do you do on the weekend?
I usually stay home, but sometimes I go out.
Oh, where do you go?
Sometimes I go to the beach. Sometimes I go to the park.
I often go there too. Do you ever go to the lake?
No, very rarely. It is too far from my house. Conversation 2.
What do you usually have for dinner?
I try to eat healthy, so I usually cook vegetables.
Really? What kind of stuff do you make?
Sometimes I make soups. Sometimes I make stir-fry.
Stir-fry? That's not very healthy.
I know, but I don't eat it that often. Conversation 3. Do you take the bus to work?
No, I never take the bus. I always drive.
Yeah, it's so much easier to drive.
Do you drive to work?
Actually, I rarely drive. I usually walk to work. I live near the office.
Lucky you.
Conversation 4.
Do you ever go to the movies?
I rarely do. It is too expensive. Do you?
No, not often. I usually rent DVDs.
Really? I never do that. I usually stream movies.
Nice. Do you have fast internet?
Yeah, usually it is fast, but sometimes it's slow.
Okay, did you pay attention to the conversations? So we are going to answer this question. Where does she say about the lake? Do you remember? Conversation 1. Where does she say about the lake? She goes there often or she rarely goes there? What do you remember? That's right, she rarely goes there. Now we are going to think in conversation number 2. What does she often have for dinner? Do you remember that conversation? What does she often have for dinner? What do you remember? Vegetable. Excellent. Conversation number 3. How does he go to work? Do you remember? He was talking about how he go to work. Do you remember? He drives or take the bus. What do you remember? He always drives. That's good. Good job. Number 4. How does she watch movie? How does she watch movie? She rents DVDs or she streams movies. What do you remember in conversation 4? That's right. Excellent. She streams movies. Good job. Okay, now we are going to watch the homework for this week. What we are going to do? Complete the sentences. Use the adverb and the correct form of the verb in brackets. Use contraction where possible. Okay, you are going to complete each sentence, use the frequency adverb and the corresponding form of the verb. So I have to say goodbye. See you next time. Bye. Take care. Remember to submit your homework to your English teacher at school.